Hey guys, Derek Imler here. I am here in the boom pod, and I think I'm with the boom operator.
Call me Sergeant Maylander, call sign Trigger.
Okay. So, how does it feel when you fly in the when you're down here?
It's a little different. It can be a little uncomfortable just because we're facing after the aircraft while it's going forward. So that makes it feel a little funky.
Okay.
So you get those little jinglies in your tummy, but once you get past that, it's not too bad of a view.
How hard is it to get the boom to connect with the other airplane that you're with?
So what you want to do, if you want to realize the difficulties of it, you basically want to rub your belly and pat your head at the same time, and that'll about be what it's like to do this. So if you want to start here, what I'm going to show you is you're in the seat. So this control right here, what it's actually doing is this is actually what flies the boom. So the actual boom itself, if I go like this, it's going to take it out. If I go like this, it's going to bring it back. The stick to your right here, this is what actually flies it. So what you're actually doing is you're doing an in coordination step where you're going to go in and out, left, right, up and down. So with those two things, you're actually going to fly that nozzle into what they call the receptacle, and that's what makes the contact. So what the pilot's supposed to do is he's supposed to fly in a straight 3-degree line to us. Once he's in close proximity of the nozzle, we're actually going to use these things and connect to him. So at any point, if you want to come this way, what's going to happen is these are just lights that kind of give the pilot visual cues of what he's supposed to do. These are just radios that allow us to communicate with each other. This panel right here, in coordination, if you want to kind of look up here to this box right here, this is the brains of what operates the boom between me and the computer system. So that's what's actually going to tell the boom how to fly and how to do what it's supposed to do. The three most important parts here, and the three most parts of my job, what you see here is roll, telescope, and elevation. Roll is how far the airplane, the receiver airplane, the one we're hooked up to, can go left or right. As you can see, there's two arrows here, so I can actually adjust how far they're allowed to go left or right. The telescope here is how far out, how far aft they can go, or how forward they can come. Obviously, if you come too far forward, we're going to hit each other. If you go too far aft, there's going to be a violent separation of the two airplanes. The up and down that you're looking at here, obviously, they can only go so far up or so far down. So far up means that they could potentially hit our tail. So far down would mean that we would have another violent separation. So with those things in consideration, the next panel that you're going to look at is not all receivers are boom capable where I hook up to them. So what we have is a drogue system. A lot of Navy and foreign aircraft will run the drogue system. So what it is towards the left side of the aircraft here, I say left side because we're actually facing backwards, so it's literally the right side of the airplane, but for me it's the left side. There's a drogue basket that'll go out about 35 feet. At 35 feet, once it's out there, then the pilot just flies his nozzle inside the drogue basket.
Right.
That's what allows me to control his drogue basket. The seat that you're looking at to your right is a seat that we would use for guys like me that are instructor boom operators. If we're training new guys, we'll sit in that seat, and that gives me all the controls that I need over here to be able to make a contact or to disconnect from the receiver if something's unsafe.
Okay. And when they do, are you allowed to have guests inside the boom pod? Yeah,
in theory we're allowed to have guests. In theory there's one obviously in the seat that I'm in and the seat that you're in, and then we can have one to the right. Sometimes we're actually doing training, or we're actually doing what we call an evaluation, where somebody will sit to the right and they just watch how you fly. Just like a pilot would get an evaluation, the boom operators also get an evaluation.
Okay. And thank you very much for the interview, and I hope you have a good day.
Thanks, you too, man.